literally every time. I was just getting ready to kick off the video and the dog got thirsty again. Hey everybody, I'm Amanda. Welcome to the Happy Homestead. Today is day 6 of our Christmas gift giving. So on the 6th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me a homemade lip balm. Now there's no lip balm in it yet, but that's what we're gonna do. I have been making my own lip balm for a long time. Before I ever even decided to be homesteady, I've been making my own lip balm because it's so easy. You can easily go buy those tubes, right? So I'm using these fun little spheres or eggs today that you've probably seen a major brand do. They're all the rage with the teenagers and all the young folk. And I thought I'd try and do something a little different today. But if you're not into the spheres, you can easily go buy the tubes. By the way, all of the things I'm going to be using to make our chapstick today will be linked below on Amazon. So you can click the link, go right to it and not have to search. But yeah, I've been making my own chapstick for a long time now. It's so easy and it's just really nice knowing that just like anything else, you know exactly what's in it. And so today we're going to be making a peppermint lip balm or peppermint chapstick because it gives that really good tingly feeling on your lips. And again, just a really great stocking stuffer, little homemade gift for your friend, whoever. So I have 9 of these spheres. Now the box that I purchased, there's 10 in them, but in my haste to try to play around with them, I broke one. I don't think it was a fault of the product, it was a fault of my own. So I've got 9, but just know in the box you would be purchasing, there will be 10. So the recipe I'm going to share with you, which is down in the show notes, I am doing that full recipe, which is gonna cover about 9, hopefully all 9 of these. I may have a little left over. It should be enough to give you a full 10 of these spheres. If you're going to be doing tubes, I would probably have the recipe because you just may not have as much in there. And that would probably give you 5 or 6 tubes. If you wanted more tubes, then stick with the full recipe. Play around with it, see what works for you. We're going to be using sweet almond oil. Now you remember we used this in our sugar scrub a few days ago, so it comes in handy for a few different things. We're going to be using a spearmint essential oil. If you have peppermint, that'll work too. This is just what I had on hand. We are also going to be using an organic shea butter. I buy a really big batch of it because again, I use it for soap making, but I'll link down below to a smaller bag, smaller portion in case that's what you need. And then we're using organic coconut oil. And last but not least, I've got some home rendered beeswax from our own bees. You can easily buy beeswax online, but I would suggest that you maybe find a local beekeeper in your community and see if they have any beeswax they can give you or sell you. It's just a really great way to support local beekeeping in your area. We are going to be melting all of these items together with the exception of the essential oil. We'll put that in after the other oils are already melted along with the beeswax. So I'm going to use a glass measuring cup here. I'm going to put everything in and I'm actually going to put it in the microwave. I know some people are very iffy about microwaves, which is understandable. But for essence of time and just ease, I'm going to microwave everything and then we'll fill our containers. So when you get your spheres, they're going to come in basically 3 pieces. One of the lids with like a little white top, one without, and then this disc. And so this is where I had gone wrong and accidentally broke one. I put the disc in the sphere part without the white. So you don't want to do that. So set those aside. And really what you're doing is you're just screwing in, twisting in the disc into the sphere with the white top or white in it. Now in the sphere, see if this can focus here. Yeah, you see that indentation? The opening of the indentation is going to go up. So I'm going to screw this one in with the indentation pointing up, right? The open space up. So I'm going to do that first. for all of my spheres or egg tops. Basically just screwing them in. Okay, so I've got all of the discs in the sphere with the white part, right? Double checking to make sure the opening of that indentation is all facing up, and they are. All right, so now we're going to just set that aside for a minute and start to melt our other ingredients. I've got 3 tablespoons of the rendered beeswax. The smaller you can get your beeswax, the better. So honestly, when you buy it online, sometimes it comes in these pellets, and the pellets are really helpful because the smaller it is, the faster it melts. To that, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of coconut oil. Now, I'm not using a tablespoon measuring spoon. I'm just eyeballing it. To that, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of our organic shea butter. And 4 tablespoons of our sweet almond oil. I'm going to put this in the microwave, and I'm going to start with about 1.5 to 2 minutes. I'll stir as needed intermittently, but I want to make sure this gets fully melted. Okay, so I just took it out of the microwave. It's very hot. It took about 4 minutes, maybe 4.5 minutes to melt, and that's because the beeswax was in bigger chunks, so it may take less for you depending on the size of your beeswax. All right, I am now going to add 2 tablespoons of my spearmint essential oil in. Stir that around. You'll see I've got some particles floating, and you know what that is? That is from the beeswax. It's because I render my beeswax myself, and I don't always get the impurities out from the beehive. So you may have cleaner beeswax, but if you see that, that's what that is. All right, now I'm going to carefully pour my melted mixture in here. So you want to make sure that you are pouring right above the sphere here. Because what's gonna happen is when everything is cooled, we're gonna put this on, and then you flip it and open it. And this is actually gonna be attached to this side, and your lip balm is gonna be on the other side of this disc. So you wanna make sure that your wax mixture, well, oil mixture, is going above this grid. It doesn't have to go too high, right? Because remember, you have that indentation here, but it needs to go above the grid so that it has something to grip onto when it flips. All right, I'm just gonna start pouring. And I have it on a plate because we're then gonna put this in the refrigerator to cool. This is a very hot mixture at 4.5 minutes in the microwave, so just be very careful with yourself to not burn yourself. Or anyone else in the kitchen if they're helping. Okay, and I do have a little left over. So if I had 10 spheres, I'd probably get to use it all. But what I do have is this cute little jar, this glass jar here. And I'm not gonna let this go to waste. I'm just gonna pour the rest of it in here. I can always just dip my finger in when I'm sitting at my desk. Okay, so all of this is now gonna go in the refrigerator to cool. I'm gonna let it cool for at least an hour. If you're in a time crunch, you can always put it in your freezer to have it cool faster. It has been a little over an hour. I just took everything out of the refrigerator, so it has set up nice. But now the exciting part. So remember when we were putting the disc in, we had that opening, see that, at the top facing up. The reason is because on the other side of the other cap, the other side of the sphere, there is a little notch. Do you see that notch there? You want to line that notch up with that opening, that indentation. And I'm gonna push it shut here. You're basically gonna snap it in place so we're not twisting, because what's gonna happen is this disc now is going to be attached to this side. So then we twist it off and we've got our beautiful lip balm here. So let me just do it here. Line that notch up with the indentation, snap it shut. And so now, twist. And look, we've got the most beautiful lip balm. We've got a little piece of beeswax from the beehive on the top. Maybe this will be mine. But that's it. Ooh, it smells so good. Now, remember that little jar I filled up? I actually took that out of the refrigerator and I put it in my office. And so when I was sitting in there, I actually took my finger in and put some on, and it felt so good. So what I love about this recipe is the fact that it has like the shea butter, the almond oil, the coconut oil. Those are very nourishing, right? But the beeswax is also so good for, look at that. I don't know, it's just like so cool to see. The beeswax is also just so good for your skin. It almost acts as a little barrier, right? So you've got the moisturizing agents and then you've got the beeswax on, so it stays on your lips quite a long time. All right, I'm just gonna snap all of these. And then when you're done, right? When your lip balm is done, you can then just clean these out and do it again. You might want to sanitize them, but how cool. Yeah, I'm excited to give these as little stocking stuffers this holiday season. Thanks for joining me today. I will see you tomorrow as we continue our gift giving series. Stay healthy, stay well. Bye-bye.